Hi everyone, Akinola Solomon is here again, and today I want to speak on a topic which I call righteousness saves a nation than prayers. Righteousness saves a nation than prayers. Okay, this is the part 3. Alright, if you have not watched part 1 and part 2, I want you to click on the link below. I'm going to drop the link below. So click on the link below, it will take you to part 1 or the part 2. Okay, so the link for part 1, the link for part 2, click on any one of them and it will take you. I want you to watch the two to get much understanding on this topic. Okay, righteousness saves a nation than prayers. And like I said in part 1, I said righteousness is a set of, according to the scripture, is a set of values that is expected of every man to act, to practice, set of values that is expected of every man to practice. Okay, that is righteousness. Why prayer is a communication between man and God. Now I say righteousness saves a nation than prayer. Righteousness says that these values, this set of values, saves a nation than prayer. And in part 2, I took one of the values that can actually save a nation, or that saves a nation, than prayer itself, which I call work. So in this part 3, I'm going to take another value to discuss on that can save a nation, that saves a nation than prayer itself, and that value is what I call equality. Equality is a value and is one of the values that saves a nation than prayers. Is one of the values contained in righteousness that actually saves a nation than prayers. Okay, let's consider the book of Nehemiah chapter 5 and verse 1 to 13 and take it again from verse 14 to verse 19. It's a very long verse in the scripture. There the Bible was talking about Jeremiah. It was the story of Nehemiah rather. Story of Nehemiah, how that this man was sent back to Jerusalem to come and build the wall of Jerusalem, and he was sent back as a governor. He actually came to Jerusalem and became a governor, so meaning that he was receiving the allotments of governor. Yes, they were giving him some provision of governor. They were giving him some something. So if you study from chapter 5 verse 1 to 13, he was actually talking about equality among his brethren. You know, when he got to Jerusalem, some people began to cry to him and say, well, there is no equality between us and our brothers. He said, some of our brothers have taken our house, they have taken our land, they got money, they are rich, yet they still take our children for servants, for slavery. He said, oh, please, you have to help us. We are dying, there's no food, we are hungry, and all of that. And Nehemiah called all of them. He said, thou shalt not deal like this with your brothers, with your brethren. And then he was talking to them that they should return their children and return whatever they have taken from the hand of these people back unto them. He was actually fighting for equality. That even though some people will be rich, it should not be that they will be super rich, while some will be super low, super poor. They will be extra poor. Permit me to use super poor. You know, some people, these people that, this story was talking about the Israelites. Some of them have money, they have riches, and they have acquired the land of other guys because they don't have what to eat, so they take their land for food. They give them their land, then they give them token of food. And then they took their children again. Do you want more food? Yeah, give us your children to come and serve us. And then you can have this as food or little money to get food. And that was the practice then. And so this rich guy was so rich. They have taken what belongs to everybody to themselves alone. And so the cry came to Nehemiah. And Nehemiah said, no, there should be equality among you. All of you should have food to eat. All of you might not have cars, if they are using car then. All of you might not have jets, but all of you should have food. At least there should be something that is common to all of you. You should not deal like this. Some people should not be dying of hunger or dying of lack or being poor, dying in poverty, while some people are super rich. So equality was what Nehemiah was fighting for. And the same thing is applicable in many nations of Africa today, especially Nigeria. The wealth of this nation are in the hand of very few people. The money of this nation, the wealth of this nation, the riches of this nation that were supposed to be distributed among this nation. You know, God has blessed us with all kind of resources in this nation. And those blessings is for the Nigerians. It's for us because we are in this nation. God bless all of us with the poor. As long as you are in this nation, you are supposed to eat of the good of the land of this nation. That was what God said to the Israelites. He said, you will eat the good of the land of the nation. So every one of them was supposed to eat the good of the land. So every one of us in Nigeria was supposed to eat the good of this nation of Nigeria. The God in Nigeria, the natural resources in Nigeria, the mineral in Nigeria, the precious things, all the good things that God has blessed this nation for, with, should be the wealth of it that it brings, whatever wealth it brings, it attracts all over the world, there should be a way of distributing it to everyone in Nigeria, to every common people in Nigeria. So I don't mean that jets will go around. I don't mean that big cars will go around, or billions will go around. But I'm simply saying that there is a way that the government or people who are rich, even in the environment, you know, I've heard a story, and I don't want to say it because of whom it's concerned, that a particular resource in an environment in this nation, Nigeria, some people who got to discover that resources, all of them got to discover it, but some people know the value than each other. So people that know the value took advantage and collect all those resources, from other ones in this particular state in Nigeria, in a particular city or town or whatever. And this one individual is the one that is enjoying all the wealth of that place. Never care for these other people who are living in abject poverty. Some people are dying of hunger, but you are super rich. So there is no equality rather. Maybe I've been mentioning equity all this while. Equality. So there is no equality. I've heard about how that budget that was supposed to serve the whole nation of Nigeria. Only few people will go to the government and borrow that budget. Borrow about 80% of the total budget of this nation, Nigeria. 200 million people. Very few people that are not even up to 500. They are not even, according to what I read, they are not even up to 100. Very few of them will go and get and borrow up to 80% of the total money that was supposed to serve 200 million. And guess what? When they borrow it, they don't return it. When they borrow it, they don't return it. They borrow it that they will return it with interest. But when they borrow this money, they don't return it. And they got so much power enough that government cannot deny them of borrow such amount of money. And so the money that was supposed to be distributed, the wealth of this nation, whether they got from oil of this nation, whether that they got from precious natural resources, natural mineral, whatever, of this nation, were only given to the people, were borrowed by few people. So these few people are super rich, while we have plenty of people. You know, when I say these few people, maybe 100 of them, or let's even say 1 million of them. What about 199 million of millions of Nigerians? Nigerians that could not even eat 3 square meals. Some cannot even eat 2 square meals in a day. Malnutrition is killing so many people in villages. I was on Facebook when I saw this guy that I forgot. I don't want to even mention the name already. That they arrested. The police arrested him. I think in somewhere in the east or in the south. And then when they arrested him take him to police station, people carried placards and they were following him that they should release him. The town or the city people, the youths were following that, police, you have to release our own person. Then police, maybe the DP or whoever came out and come and said, do you know the offense of this man? And all of them were, and then he began to say, do you know that so billion of naira was given to this, to you, to this community, to this town? Do you know this also millions was given to this was given, this also billion was given, and they were mentioning big amount of money in billion in the account of his daughter, very young daughter. I think he has about 3 billions of naira in her account. A very young underage, like a teenager. So these are the people embezzling the money that was supposed to circulate. Now, I don't. It's not that I really want to talk about them, but I'm only saying that there is no equality. And equality is one of the values that we should think about. I should not be eating. I should not be super rich while other people are dying of hunger. Only them have motor everywhere, have houses, home and abroad everywhere. And while other people are very poor. Because there is no equality. There is no equal right to the resources that belongs to everybody. The resources is given to Nigerians. 200 million Nigerians. But very few are sitting on it. Budget for 200 of Nigerians. 80% of it are gone out, embezzled, borrowed outside. So I mean, to people of Nigeria, of Nigerians, people of Nigeria, and then they never return it. So there is, because there is no value like equality. And okay, maybe I'm talking about big people, top people up there. Now let's bring it down. The same is happening in our church. You see, church is collecting all forms of, like our big church in this nation, Nigeria. It is shameful that when I watch DSTV sometimes, and I tune to this some of their channel, and I see how they are making collection. They don't teach the member to share their resources with other people. Pastor cannot know who does not eat. They can't see them because they are controlling thousands of people in their church. So how would they know who does not eat, who does not have clothes to wear, who does not have house to live in? So they have to teach the member how to, equality as a value. Equality have a substance of love inside too. And so as a value, that's okay now. You have to know how to share with your brothers. You have to know who does not have food to eat. You have to know who does not have clothes. You have to know those people that are sincere but they are poor. They are innocent but they are suffering. You have to know them and share your things with them. Because church, so now what we are doing in the church is that church make a collection of all of them, take people's money, take property, take all of them, and do you know what they use it for? They use it for projects. They use it for projects. They call it expanding kingdom. They use it for BB projects. They use it for projects for next generation projects. Why people are dying in this generation, even presently in their church. So there is no equality. Some people are hungry, very, very poor and hungry, abject poverty. And some people are super rich, like pastors, because they have made a collection of all those their resources. The resources of the rich people, big people. That are in the church that they were supposed to share their resources with other people. Like it is said in the book of Acts chapter 2, verse 44 to 45. The Bible said the disciples, all the people that came, like 5,000 people or 8,000 people, he said they all have one thing. They have things in common. And if you check maybe chapter 4, verse 32 to 35 again, he was talking about, and there was no one that was lack among them. There was no one that was lack, talking about lack of food, lack of clothes, lack of, the most important thing, how do they call this thing? The most important, like food, clothes, and house. There was no one that was lacking among them, lacking this among them. No lack, no super poor. Because the rich people brought their wealth and they make them distribute it among the common people. So there is equality, there is balancing of the resources, there is sharing. So Nehemiah said, you will not deal like that to your brethren. Now, return what you have taken from them back to them. And Nehemiah being the governor that was receiving governor, what is it called now? Governor provision, governor allotment or whatever. That was receiving it at the time in that Nehemiah chapter 5 verse 14 to 19. He was saying that I did not eat governor food because people are hungry. I did not put governor provision into my pocket. He said, I share it. I have thousands of people who are eating at my table. I prefer that. There should be this mind of people. This value saves a nation. Any nation that does not value poor people, any nation that does not count poor people to be anything, there will be problem. Because it is written all over the Bible that God will bring problem to them. And so how would prayer save us from this problem? When the Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice, the only thing we need to do is to go and get those values. That is why I say righteousness exalts a nation, it saves a nation. Go and get those values and inculcate it into us. Let church teach us. Let school teach us. Let everywhere teach us. Inculcate it into all systems, all areas. So that it will enter into our blood, into our bone. We will know that what resources need to go around. Nobody is working to be blessed by himself. Everybody is working to serve other people. So by the time we have this mindset of equality, this value is in us, is an individual. Before anyone gets rich at all, he has this value. By the time he gets rich, it's an opportunity to exercise or to carry out that thing that he knows, that he's been longing to practice. Okay? This, I believe, that is one of the value that saves nation. And it's not only limited or stopped in the church, it's in the house, it's in the environment, it's everywhere. People are enjoying, like the one I told you, somebody is enjoying the wealth of the environment. And he never cared for the poor of the same environment. He never cared for them. Okay? And the situation is almost everywhere in this nation, Nigeria. So God is looking for people who carries value. People who practice this value. And through this value they practice, the nation will be saved. God punish every nation that do not care. Read your Bible. He punish every nation that do not care for the poor. It doesn't matter what make them poor. As long as there are poor people in the land, it is the responsibility of the rich people to take care of them. If it is just food, it must serve them. That is why whenever Jesus Christ, even in the New Testament, mean people that were rich, the first thing they are confessing just to follow Jesus or to stay with Jesus is that we'll go and share our property to the poor. We'll go and share our property with the poor. We'll go and share with the poor, because they know that is what God sees as righteousness. And with that, the anger of God will not come upon that nation. And so the nation is saved. And prayer will not just be, we will not just be to cure this after we don't do all this, we don't practice this value, and then there is chaos, and then we are now praying. There will be no need for prayer, because we have obeyed, and righteousness will simply increase. Save our nation. Say for instance, the advanced nation who care for the poor people among them. You will see that the level of crime, the level of criminality will be very, very low, because they care for the poor. Okay, the level of what is it called? Of poverty will also be low, because they put work in place, and they care for the people who are poor, who are unfortunate. Okay, so this saves nation, and God look for it. My name is Akinola Solomon. Please share this with other people. Like this video, and the subscribe button is down the video. Don't forget to click on it. Click on it right now. It's free, and as you do so, God bless you. Peace.